Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the ARC channel. Today we are following up on the games that are happening today in the wild card weekend. First of all, what a great turnout yesterday was. Definitely unexpected from the Browns. The Browns, I think we overlooked Joe Flacco's tendency to throw the ball, turn the ball over, and I thought that would improve in the playoffs. Clearly, it did not, and the Texans really made the most out of it. Two pick sixes. One, what was it, 86 yards, the other one 36. I mean, what an impressive win for the Texans. And CJ Stroud still, proves what a rookie he is, man. That being said, of course, that was expected. Now, the Buffalo game, which was going to be earlier today against the Steelers, had been moved because of a snowstorm that's being expected. So understandable. Let's follow up on some of the wild card games that are happening today. So this is a pregame analysis for today, and quick few games that are going to be coming up. The Packers and the Cowboys and the Lions and the Rams. Great matchups. We've seen a lot from all these teams throughout the season. Obviously, the Packers and the Rams kind of just sneaking into the playoffs, which obviously is exciting to see. So many things happen during the season that you may not be expecting some teams to sneak in, but sometimes, we've seen the Giants do it, historically 9-7 and sneak in and make some noise. So sometimes a lot of things just don't happen the way they're supposed to for many of these teams early in the season, but at some point, middle of the season, it starts to click. And bam, now they make it through. And their record honestly doesn't even reflect how good they are sometimes. And sometimes they're overly, you would say, ranked. So, and their record could be really good or their record could be okay. So let's look at the Packers and the Cowboys today. Now, the Cowboys, I was looking at their stats. They're ranked fifth in overall offense, and we've seen it. They've dropped 40 on so many teams this year, 30, 40. They're ranked third in passing offense, and that's no surprise. Dax had his best career year this year, so congrats to him. They've been really good on offense. Of course, now the question is their rushing offense, which is ranked 14th in the league. Tony Pollard, they replaced Ezekiel Elliott with Tony Pollard, and Tony Pollard had shown so much potential previously, but this year hasn't really honestly turned out for him that well. Let's see if he can pick up in the playoffs. We're hoping to do so, and honestly, Packers are a great matchup for him. I say that because the Packers defense is ranked 28th. In the regular season, was ranked 28th against the rush. So if there's a team that Tony Pollard can go off against, it really is the Packers, and this is the perfect recipe for him to start, getting back in his groove. So that being said, now the Cowboys defense again has also been pretty solid this season, ranked 5th overall, 5th in pass defense, and 16th in rushing defense. That's kind of the question, and that's really the Packers where they have to focus on, right? The Cowboys rush defense is pretty middle of the pack. Can the Packers take advantage of it? We'll have to see. One thing I'm going to look at, of course, is the turnover differential for the Cowboys they're actually ranked 6th. 6th with a plus 10 turnover ratio, meaning they've given the ball away 10 less times than they've taken away. So that's good sign. That's a great sign for the Cowboys. They've been undefeated at home, which is honestly something they're going to be that's going to help carry over. That's going to be great momentum for them. It's a great mental, boost as well, knowing that you haven't lost at home. Obviously, it can provide some pressure, but at the same time, you're against the Packers, first game in the playoffs, second seed. Let's do it, right? Obviously, at the same time, you've got the Packers. They're ranked 12th in overall offense, 12th in pass offense, and 15th in rushing attack. So right there in the middle of the pack against, for in terms of their running game, their run attack. And again, the Cowboys are ranked 16th. So this is, again, a good matchup for the Packers in terms of their rush offense. Now, of course, these are the playoffs. Every team is studying each other. They're going to be reading into, what the tendencies of each team is and really hone in on that and then try to improve on that. So it's not going to be an easy matchup for any of these teams that are going against each other because, yes, you have some rankings, some performance that you've done throughout the season, but the playoffs are a different beast. All these teams are studying and trying to make sure that they can focus in on the weakness of all, of each other. That being said, the Packers defense now is ranked 17th in overall defense. That's really quite questionable, and Cowboys being one of the best offenses in the league this year. Granted, they had somewhat of a weaker schedule. they can still take advantage of the Packers defense. Poor overall rushing defense. As I said, 28th in the league. So I expect Tony Pollard to have a huge game today, right? And in terms of the Packers defense, they're ranked ninth. Pretty decent, top 10. The Cowboys offense still, CeeDee Lamb will do his thing as needed, but Jordan Love and his guys are gonna really, have a challenge when it comes to the pass. Now they have to focus on the run game, and likewise, honestly, the Cowboys just have to give Tony Pollard the ball and expect him to step up. That's just what it comes down to. I mean, you're going against arguably what in the playoffs the worst run defense, and or maybe worst, or maybe the Eagles have the worst one, which we'll get to tomorrow. But bottom four. So this is a great game for Tony Pollard once again. And turnover differential, the Packers are ranked 17th. They actually have 0 turnover differential, so they've given the ball away as many times that they've taken it away. So honestly, this doesn't help in the playoffs. You do need more. You do rely on some turnovers, the ball to go your way sometimes, and that does help win some games in the playoffs. And so Cowboys do have an advantage over there. With that being said, I think the Cowboys are going to force some turnovers, maybe one interception, one fumble, and take advantage of a poor Packers run defense. And then, I'm expecting a big game again from Tony Pollard. I would say the Cowboys are going to win this game 31-17, and that will take them to round 2, the divisional round. But that being said, let's quickly follow up on the next game, which is coming up later tonight. It's going to be the Rams versus Lions. What a great matchup. Again, Matthew Stafford going back to his home stadium, and at the same time, Jared Goff's return or face against the Rams. That's really where we're focusing on, right? So Jared Goff is going to be facing his former team. Matthew Stafford's going to be facing his former team. It's a great matchup. It's a great storyline. Both teams have great history, right? In terms of the Lions, I mean, history meaning honestly last year is where they started taking off, right? They were 9-8 and they had missed the playoffs, but they had a hot end to the season. Dan Campbell's been a great coach this year. With Rams, obviously they've gotten to 2 Super Bowls. Lost one, won one. So they've got good history on their side, and it's pretty recent as well. So what do we see from both teams? It's going to be pretty good to look at. Pretty exciting. What we're looking forward to. So, I mean, congrats to the Lions for winning their division for the first time since the division became the NFC North and hosting their first home playoff since. So that's going to be pretty exciting. I'm sure the fans are going to be going pretty crazy. So now looking into, some of the matchups. So what are we seeing here? Of course, the Lions offense. Man, they've been actually really hot this year. 3rd overall offense, 2nd in pass offense, 5th in rushing offense. And they have Jahmyr Gibbs. They've got David Montgomery in the backfield. I mean, oh my goodness. This is a very dangerous offense. And of course, they've got, St. Amon-Ra Brown. And Jared Goff, honestly, has been pretty good. He's got, 30 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, I believe. I mean, he's had a great year. The whole Lions team, honestly, has been great. Now the question comes on their defensive side. They're ranked 19th overall in defense, 27th in pass defense. And, man, I'm sure Matthew Stafford's licking his chops. What? I'm sure he's going to be looking to have a big game if you're facing the 27th pass defense. But, of course, they're 2nd in rushing defense. So that's good on the Lions. And, so the Rams are going to have to rely more on the pass than the run. Although I will say Kyren Williams for the Rams, had him on my fantasy team. Man, he has popped off this year whenever he's had the chance, when he's been healthy. I think he's had a couple games he had to miss, maybe about 4 due to an injury. But overall, I mean, guy's been amazing. What a gem they found out of nowhere, really. But on the turnover differential for the Lions, they're actually ranked 16th, just 1 ahead of the Packers, but they're also 0 in turnover differential. They've just had more takeaways, but again, it's been the same as giveaways. So not much for the Lions to look at. They're going to have to create some turnovers if they're going to want to win. Looking at the Rams, though, they are actually ranked 7th overall on offense, considering, I mean, they've had a pretty tough year with, injuries and just finally rebounding from, just there are so many different factors that have taken place. But to be ranked 7th in overall offense is actually pretty impressive for the Rams. They're 10th in pass offense and 11th in rushing attack. Again, shout out to Kyren Williams, been great. So this is actually a pretty good offense. Again, Lions are definitely top 5 in every category, but the Rams are top 10, top 11 in every category, pass and rushing. So both offenses are pretty good. Defenses, again, their Lions were ranked overall 19th. The Rams are or ranked overall 20th. So there's not too much of a difference. But I will say, though, the Rams are a little bit more balanced when it comes to the pass and the rush. There's too much of a discrepancy between the passing defense of the Lions and the rushing, as opposed to the Rams. They're 20th in pass, as opposed to, the 27th for the Lions. And then they're 12th in rushing defense, as, the Lions are second. So, yes, the Lions are much better in rushing defense compared to their pass defense, but that discrepancy of 25 places is huge. They do have that, pass defense that stands out as a huge weakness for the Rams to focus on. As for the Rams, their defense has, obviously their passing defense is 20th, so it's not that great. So that is something the Lions will take advantage of as well. Their turnover differentials, actually, they're 21st. The Rams are 21st in turnover differential. They're sitting at -3, so they gave the ball away more than they took away. Obviously, historically, we've seen the Rams defense be really good. This year, they've, again, have had some injuries. They're getting older. They probably do need to add some pieces after the season. So, can the defense, though, show up one more time? That'll be interesting to see. So I'm going to say both teams obviously have a very good offense, and bottom of the league defense, unfortunately. But, Rams have more experience, a little bit of a better defense. I'm going to take the Rams on the road, and they're going to win 31-28, and that's my pick. So 31-28, the Rams. But again, it would not be a surprise if this game goes, the other way and the Lions win. But my pick is the Rams, 31-28. As opposed to the Cowboys and Packers, I think that's a pretty straightforward pick. Cowboys should be winning, emphatically at home, and I've got them winning 31-17. But that being said, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed today's podcast. This was a pregame analysis. Hopefully we'll come back. I'm able to get back on some postgame analysis after this week's over. Hope you enjoy the weekend. Take care. And again, until next time, have a wonderful day. Please do like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Bye-bye.